Hello everyone, this is Derek with Reef Automation, and this is another Reef Automation tutorial for the Neptune Systems. In this tutorial we're going to go over the sky and how to program it. It's quite simple. If you've programmed anything with the apex that is 0 to 10 volt, or if you've programmed a dose before, or if you've programmed a radion light or any of the IOTA lights, it's very similar in the programming. There's a couple other things that the Sky provides that we're going to go over. So let's get started. Alrighty, so if we are going to program the Sky, the first thing we want to know is it up to date? So to do that, like any other module with Neptune, you will click on the gear icon, then you will go to the modules, which is this guy right here. And you're going to want to make sure that all of your skies are up to date. They have a check mark next to them. And of course, you can label them all by going into here and labeling them however you want. I have two skies in my system, so that's why I have one labeled right and one labeled left. This is very important when you get into the grouping aspect of the skies and how that functions. So that's the first thing I would do. The next thing I would do is you can go to tasks, and there is a sky initial setup, and this will automatically group the skies for you. But you're going to hit next, and then you're going to put what you want that group to be. So for instance, if you want it to be lights, you can just label it lights, and then it's going to make a group called lights. And then Neptune Sky have actually two programming modes, one for the moonlights that are completely independent programming from the sky programming. So that's how you do the groups, and I'm going to show you another way to do that, but that is the quick and easy way to do that. So let's go back to my dashboard and let's go to the sky. You'll notice that I have two skies. However, in the tiles here, you'll only see the one sky, and you'll see the moon, which we went over just briefly, that it is a separate programming. So here's my Reef LED, and that's how you get into the sky. I'm going to click on the gear up here to kind of explain how this all functions, but you can see that this is actually programmed under Sky right here. You see that? And then you can actually put it inside a group, and that group is called Reef LED. So you can make a group right here, or you can put the group to which the LEDs are part of. So this is the right one right here. If I was to go to the left one, for example, so if I go back to my outlets, so there's Reef Sky LED left, you'll notice that's part of the Reef LED group. So we're only programming the Reef LED group. So when we program the Reef LED group, it encompasses both of the skies. So any changes you make here are going to correspond to that group, which is right here. You see that? You can, of course, put an advanced. You'll see if outlet reef pick is on, then light pick. And what this means is if I turn on my reef picture mode, which is on my dashboard, which is a virtual outlet, to on, then I want it to go to a profile. The profile is where we set up our picture mode, for instance, in mine. So if I go back to the dashboard, you're going to see here I have reef pick. If I was to turn this on, it's going to then go to the profile that I assigned for it. Now, if we go to profiles, which is this folder here, and I have other videos on all this, by the way, so if you want to learn how to do profiles and virtual outlets, take a look at that. But you'll see I have my light pick here, and then I can pick the type, sky. I can put what I want the intensities to be, and then anytime I turn on this reef pick, which is a virtual outlet, it's going to then send it to that profile. So if I go back to Reef LED, let's kind of go through the programming. The programming is quite simple. You can set up a time right here. So if I can go here and adjust the points, and I can put what time and what intensity I want it to be. I then can use the predetermined presets, which there are quite a bit of them. I use AB+. I like AB+ for my system. But there's a couple different ones here. You can also, of course, adjust them with the 4 sliders here. A lot of people ask why there's 4 sliders and not a lot of sliders. I haven't really seen the need to change this much. I just keep it on AB+. But again, you can put it on whatever you'd like. But here's your basic programming. It'll tell you what time it currently is. That's the big line here in the middle. You can actually do a preview by pressing play up here, and then it will go through the whole day to demonstrate. You can actually go over here and hit preview, and it will just do this portion of it if you want to take a look at it. I haven't used the cloud mode on this, but it's supposed to simulate cloud movement. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know how good it is or how it actually works, but so that's how you program the LED side of the sky. Again, it's pretty simple. We're going to go over to the moon now, which again is an independent channel, and it's really just this small little lights inside, and I just have them all day on at 100% because I don't really care to change that, but you can of course make whatever you'd like here. You can put 0 to 100, 0 to 50, I mean whatever you'd like. They have a couple presets. I just keep it on balance. But if you want it to be more white, more blue in the moon setting or at night, that's where you would set it. And again, the moon is also in a group. So this is called Reef Moon. And you'll see that Sky Light is part of Reef Moon. Again, that's under this group. And you can always hit the help here, and it kind of explains how this all works. The moon group consists of Reef Moon and Reef Moon Left. As you do this, it makes more sense. It might not make sense to you right away, but as you do it, you will see that the left light, or the left light in my case, is going to be the main light, which all the other lights are going to essentially clone off of. And that's what this group essentially is. It's one light that you're cloning off of. And that's why this says Reef Moon and Reef Moon Left. Reef Moon actually happens to be my right one, and that's why you'll notice it says right here is my right one, and then left is talking to the right one, essentially is what it's doing. Again, if you do the initial setup, it'll just do it for you, but you can of course just add the groups right there as well. I kind of went over this just a hair earlier, but if you go to your alarm or email, you can, just like your Trident or any other Neptune device, say if error, right here. I haven't set that up yet. The error codes are getting released sometime in the next week or two, I believe. But usually it's going to be over voltage, or it's going to be one of the fans got stuck. Not a lot of errors. We'll find out when they send out the error codes, but right now I've only got a couple errors that I've tested, and one of them was over voltage. So that is what you're going to see when you get errors. So other than that, it's pretty simple to program. Like I said, there's really not much to it. I just wanted to make this quick video and showing you how to program it. Also, if you wanted to make a profile with the picture, and again, if you wanted to do an error on the alerts, that's how you do it. So hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully you learned a little bit about it. If you have any questions about the sky, just let me know. I've had it for quite a while. If you have any questions on how to program it, just put it in the comments below. As usual, love the thumbs up. Helps the YouTube algorithms. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We do weekly streams, and we give away things during those streams. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.